Picture this. You're going about your day when it lands in your mailbox, a jury summons. Suddenly, what was a mundane afternoon is interrupted by the prospect of being summoned to the very heart of the judicial system. You might scoff, roll your eyes, or even think of ways to wiggle out of it. But let's pause for a moment and consider the deeper implications of this piece of paper that just overshadowed your plans. Jury duty is no mere inconvenience. It's a cornerstone of the American legal system, a mechanism that ensures fair trials for all. Here's the thing. When everyday citizens like you and me step into that jury box, we are participating in something profoundly democratic. We become the gatekeepers of justice, weighing evidence, deliberating with peers, and ultimately deciding the fate of our fellow humans. But when people shrug off this responsibility, when they ignore the call to serve, the very fabric of this pinnacle democratic principle begins to fray. Now, let's imagine the consequences of brushing aside that summons. What happens if you decide to simply disregard it? Well, let me take you through the landscape of repercussions. Ignoring a jury summons isn't just a harmless oversight. It can lead to heavy fines, sometimes hundreds of dollars. Yes, you heard me right. Fines that grow with each missed summons, escalating the penalties like a gripping legal drama. And if that weren't enough, the court may consider your absence as contempt. Yes, contempt of court. That's not just a slap on the wrist. It's an official legal rebuke that carries its own set of consequences. Picture this scene. You've ignored that first summons, and the court decides to issue a second, a reprieve of sorts, nudging you toward compliance. But with this comes another layer of seriousness, the warning that if you don't comply again, the court isn't just going to let it slide. You might find yourself dragged into the courtroom, standing before a judge, having to explain why you thought it wise to flout your civic duty. That scenario could spiral quickly, turning what might have been a simple gathering for jury selection into an extraordinary legal quagmire. But let's step back for a moment. Perhaps you've considered how to escape this civic obligation. Can you get out of jury duty? The answer is yes, but there are rules and valid excuses, and it takes prompt communication. If a medical condition prevents you from serving, if financial burdens loom large, or if you have significant caregiver responsibilities, these could be your ticket to a reprieve. The key is to reach out to the court, armed with documentation of your valid excuse. Ignorance might seem blissful for a moment, but it's a risky path fraught with potential pitfalls. Now, why does any of this matter? Sure, it might feel like an inconvenience in your busy life, but let's consider the broader implications when people shirk their jury duty. What happens to the judicial system when too many individuals ignore their summons? It's like a domino effect. The courts struggle to form juries, leading to delays, backlogs, and a backlog that can ripple through the justice system. Imagine juries that aren't reflective of the community they represent. How does that impact the fairness of trials? It can undermine the very essence of what a jury is supposed to be. Moreover, let's think about public trust. When citizens avoid their judicial responsibilities, it creates a wedge between the people and the legal system. This erosion of trust can be devastating. The system relies on the participation of its citizens. If people see jury duty as a burden rather than a civic privilege, the delicate balance of societal justice teeters dangerously. So why do we emphasize the need to take a jury summons seriously? Because it's not simply about obeying the law, it's about the fundamental fabric of our democracy. Jury duty is a privilege, a chance to be part of something greater, to uphold justice and fairness for all. As you thumb through your to-do list, remember that this summons isn't just a piece of paper. It is a call to participate in the essence of democratic governance. And so as we navigate our modern lives, let us recognize that engaging in jury duty is not merely a responsibility. It is an opportunity to shape the legal landscape and to strengthen the very pillars of our society. So the next time that summons arrives, don't just see it as an interruption. Embrace it as an invitation to be a guardian of justice, a crucial cog in the machine of democracy. Because ultimately, each one of us has a role to play in upholding that incredible notion of justice for all.